So I've been seeing a lot of chatter about that new Disney movie about red pandas or whatever. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently the character gets her period, and that's an important part of the story. And some people are like, "Oh, why do we need this?" And some people are like, "Yes, this is awesome." And having not seen the movie, I just kind of wanted to pitch in my 2 cents on the idea of normalizing menstruation. You know, a very formative memory of mine is when I was a kid. I went over to a family member's house, and they had kids around my age, but they were only boys. And I was, pretty new to my period, and used my pad, put it in the trash can, and went about my business. And I remember, my aunt came over and was like, "Oh, Elaine, you can't do that. You have to hide. Uh, your cousins can't know about this." And it was just like very strange to me that, they grew up in a house with, mom, they didn't know what pads were. They would be harmed by merely seeing that pads exist and women have periods. But, that apparently is kind of a thing. Like, I was talking to my dad the other day about the Manila Luzon padded for the gods alternate look that wasn't on Drag Race, where it was the period dress, and she's a big maxi pad with a red stain on it, and it's not in any way like explicit. It's just, representative. It's an abstract representation, theme couture of, normal biological process that a pretty large amount of the people on this planet regularly engage in. And I showed my dad the picture, and he was just like, "Ugh." And he's pretty cool, like, for a dude. He's pretty laid back, and he's not like too into the toxic masculinity, or he's pretty secure in who he is. But even he was just like, "Oh gosh, dude, it's a red dye on a dress that's made of fabric. I mean, it's not." Yeah, it definitely is strange to me. Like, I don't know why this should be that big of a deal. Like, you know people menstruate, big deal. It happens. It's a normal biological process. I mean, we go to the bathroom like, people do that all the time. It's not anything different. It's the same thing as needing pads or tampons or whatever it is that a woman chooses to use, or whoever chooses to use, is the same thing as like having toilet paper or whatever. I mean, it's just like, it shouldn't be a big deal. So, to me, I think that I agree with the idea that stories like this need to exist, need to be out there for public consumption, regardless of gender, so that, people just get over it, because it's not a big deal. It really isn't. And the fact that we kind of like society makes it a big deal makes it harder for women to know when things are, out of the ordinary and concerning, or when it's just normal natural variation. And so to me, I just think that, I don't there's things that I didn't understand about male anatomy until I was in like college, actually studying anatomy. And that's kind of insane. Like, why? I mean, a lot of people grow up and get married, and have families that have people that are not of the same gender as them. So shouldn't they understand how all bodies go?